All right, hi everyone, good morning. Firstly, I just want to wish everyone a very happy new year, and I really hope that you all had some amazing holidays. We're still having some amazing holidays, we're not there yet. So yeah, I just hope it was some nice holiday time, and even with the whole Corona situation, that you still had a really good time. But yeah, to the topic. Of course, some of you have started with your teaching practice, and personally, I'm already 2 weeks in. But for others, they might have just started or already in it for quite some time. Um, for most people, this means that you already got an impression of your school, of your class, of certain methods used, certain ideas adapted, the type of education. And of course, it is a bit difficult to immediately know the exact topics that you want to write about before you start your teaching practice. And for most people, they actually come up with the topics while they're doing the teaching practice, and that is also the case for me. I also changed a few of my topics to so that it would fit more in with my school. So I'm going to show you, which I've already shown before, the plan for papers and data collection for your teaching practice. And like I just really hope that that it can be useful for you to sort of just write down your ideas or things that you want to write about and how you would do that. So when you use this, I recommend just brainstorm. Use it more as a brainstorm file than as the exact plan, but it can be used as exact plan as well. I'll just show you how that works, because then, for example, you're in your class and you notice that there's a very specific type of differentiation. For the people who are doing math, then during the math class you would have this is just an example that the teacher decides to split the class up into 3 groups: the lesser skilled, the averagely skilled, and the higher skilled. Which is a type of differentiation. Everyone will get different materials, maybe different instructions, but how do you know for sure like what you need to collect for this, and what kind of theories you maybe would use? So in this case, you can think about the topic, the research question. It's like, okay, well, I want to write about differentiation in a math class. Don't forget to mention what class it is as well. So you would just write different. Oh, if it works. Okay, this one should work. Didn't work, it was for viewing only. In this file, I will show you an example. So you want to write about differentiation. So you would write down differentiation in a math class, 5th grade, on international school. Theories that you can use. Okay, what are the theories used? Like maybe before the differentiation actually takes place, the teacher shows an example of how to solve a certain equation. So if the teacher is doing something and the students have to do it as well at the spot, is a form of modeling. Then of course differentiation itself, which you could have, for example, differentiated instruction. Instruction. I know that Tomlinson writes about that. Oh, and for modeling, you should look into Bandura. And so these are 2 important theories you could use, and maybe even zone of proximal development. That will be Vygotsky, because Vygotsky looks into creating the optimal learning environment. And if you create like 3 different groups with students of equal ability, then maybe you create the perfect learning environment for them. So that could be interesting to look at. So what type of data needed? Then you can think, okay, video recording. If you are teaching, then it could be interesting to you to do a video recording. But if the teacher is teaching, then I guess you could still use it, but make sure that you get the teacher's consent on that. So not just start recording her but you mentioned to her that you will be recording, but I recommend doing video recording only when you are actually teaching. Recommended when you teach. Some observations. You could have a fellow student, maybe make some free observation or even a structured observation. From a methodological point of view, it is better to have like a pre-prepared sort of observation paper in which you have, for example, like how often are students distracted, or how much time does this one student work on a certain assignment in comparison to another method, for example. So maybe some structured or semi-structured, or maybe even free observation. Yeah, and then of course the products. Students have to make assignments, and then you can collect the final products. Although I wouldn't go too much in depth on the final products, because students are different when it comes to that. You can't really see the progress the students make. So whenever you collect data, I recommend both focusing on the process, so like how do they work, basically the how, and then the products you can also analyze, so like the what have they accomplished with that. Yeah, of course, there are other things that you can collect, maybe even audio recordings per table, put it into a transcript, analyze that. Yeah, this is just an example. So how and when to collect? Well, the video recording, you can do that throughout the lesson, or only beginning. Then observation, maybe do that specifically during when they have been differentiated. So observation, one person per group. It could be interesting, and that's why it is important if you would have a structured observation that to make sure that there aren't any confounders. So for example, if you would have 3 groups with one person observing each group, if you would have free observation and all 3 would write down different things they would focus on, for example, maybe one focuses on how fast they are, one other observant focuses on how often they are distracted. So if you would have a structured observation, then you can make sure that they focus on the same things and do it in the same way, and therefore making it a bit more reliable and valid, the way of collecting data. And final products, you would just collect in the end, or make pictures of it, depending on what kind of assignment it is. If they have to write it in a book, then you're not going to take the whole book with you. Then you just take a picture of what they have done. And of course, with all the data, make sure that it is all anonymous. That's a basic thing. So this is just one example. Of course, you can do something else here. So for some people, have to collect data for different kind of topics as well, or different kind of courses, subjects. So for TP or for English or for a bachelor thesis. You can just use this file for all those different kinds of subjects. And let me know if there are any more questions. Of course, also through the holiday and through your teaching practice, you can always contact me. Some of you have done that. I'm happy with that. And I'll just let me know if there's anything else I can do. And I'm very happy to help. So take care and enjoy the teaching practice still. Bye-bye.